Alright guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to practice the mil-dot system. This is very simple to do. After you learn how to use the mil-dot system, it'll help you greatly. As you see, there's a sniper over in this tower here. I'm actually going to line him up and shoot him. And, wow, I missed him. Now, I take it about 100 meters for every mil-dot that I use. So, when I'm lining this guy up, I want to make sure that, I always use the mil-dots, 1, 2, 3. As you saw, I was aiming at the third one down, and that bullet actually got him in the head. So that might have been a little bit high if I would have let the scope bounce a little more. And yes, what I do is I actually let my scope bounce. As you notice, when I'm sitting here just not doing anything, my scope is going up and down. And what I do is I always shoot on the up, because that makes your trajectory a lot straighter, and it won't. The bullet won't be thrown down compared to if the bullet was being, if you shoot when the scope is going down, the bullet will actually shoot down. Here, I'll give an example. See the rock over there? What I'll do is I'll aim at about, see, that's about a 275 to 280 meter shot, and then the tower is about a 300 meter shot. And what I'll do is I'll actually shoot the rock. Actually, I'll shoot the sniper. Never mind, he's just going to be annoying and moving, and he's glitching all over the place. Okay, so, as you notice when I'm bouncing up and down on my scope, that when I shoot on the up, the bullet hits where I want, about where I shot. Now, if I'm doing it on the down, well, the bullet hits about the same spot there, but it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's really weird. Like, I have shot some shots down, and I've shot some shots up. And for some reason, when I try and shoot when the bullets are down, or when the scope is going down, I have a lot of trouble trying to hit my targets. When I shoot it up, the bullet has more of a trajectory on it, and I can get my targets pretty much dead on from where I want them. And yes, this is a very long shooting distance. Not everyone should start out at this range. It does take time to learn your mil-dot system. Actually, if I scope in here, if you're looking at the scope right now, you'll see 4 mil-dots on each line. And what this is for every mil-dot down below your scope on the bottom half is how far you'll have to aim up. So when you're shooting, if they're about 100 meters away, you want to aim at the first mil-dot. And the mil-dot is actually supposed to be on their head. So that's if you want a headshot. I actually go for center mass shots because that's, the smartest thing to do. Try not to go for a headshot every time because you're going to miss a ton. You always want to make sure that when you're aiming up above a target that you want to know your range. So it's hard to get used to the ranges. Like me, I've played the boards over and over. I know how far people are. And if you go to normal mode, it will actually tell you the range of, like, if you look above the objectives, it will actually say, like, 200 meters away, and then you know, oh, well, the second mil-dot, because that's 200 meters away. So from about 0 to 90, I guess I should say, would be about dead on. 100 meters, or, well, actually, 0 to 50 would be dead on. Now, from 50 to 100 would be about the first mil-dot. Pretty much 100 is the first mil-dot. Second mil-dot is 200, obviously. Third mil-dot is 300, and fourth is 400 meters. Now, the mil-dots going from left to right are basically, how would I explain it? It's for leading more than anything. I don't really use those unless I'm leading someone, which depends on the range and depends on how far they are, or how fast they're running sideways. And I'll actually use those to my advantage I'll actually say if someone's running across here and they're at the white car there, where I'm going to shoot, I'll actually, if I see them running across, I'll actually put my scope ahead of them and wait for them to run into the mil-dot that I want to shoot at. And of course, you have to take range into consideration there. That would be basically a dead-on shot, maybe just slightly above, But yes, the mil-dot system is very easy to use once you get a hold of it. And what I'll do here is I'll let my team push a little bit. Hopefully we'll get A and B here. And we'll do some a little longer range sniping. You got to take hills into consideration. If you're on a hill, you got to make sure, you don't aim as high on a hill because you're shooting down at someone. If you're on a if you're shooting up at someone, you actually have to aim a little higher, so you have to take that in consideration as well. You also have to take in consideration that, like, if they're behind cover. Now, I know that sometimes you can't see behind cover, obviously, because it's like a cement wall or something, which, if you want a little more stopping power, go with the M95, which you won't unlock for a while if you're brand new. Which every gun has different bullet drops. You have to get used to the gun that you like the most, the gun that fits you, and make sure that you do pick a gun that you really enjoy. Now, the only reason I'm using the M24 is because I'm going for platinum on it, which this will be my third sniper rifle having the platinum. But yes, my personal favorite is the SV98, and that is probably my favorite bullet drop sniper rifle. But if you guys are really looking for some stopping power that'll go through some cement walls and stuff, you go for the M95. And we'll see here, let my team push a little bit, and I'll explain shooting downhill to you guys here in a couple minutes. Alright guys, now we're going to do some downhill shooting. So what we're going to do is, if I can find a target here. Alright, yeah, you see some people running down here. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to make sure, see this guy, he's lining up. Did you notice how when my shot, the bullet went a little under the first mil dot? Now, this is about a 150 meter shot, but since I'm shooting downhill, I actually need to aim just a tad bit higher than the first mil dot to get headshots. So I'd actually aim in between the first and the second mil dot to kind of get the shot more dead on. Now, now this is a mortar range. There is different ranges for mortars, and I'm just going to mortar this guy because, you know, that'll help my team out a little bit. Now, when I'm aiming people up, this sniper, for instance, I'll aim in between the first and second, and that, of course, you know, is, well, it wasn't a headshot, but you get the idea. When I'm shooting downhill, you always want to make sure that you aim just a tad bit, you know, above or below the actual mil dot that you would normally aim from at that distance. And hopefully this helps you guys shooting downhill. So, and here in a few minutes, if my team pushes a little bit further, I will show you guys some even longer distance shooting and more downhill long range shooting. Alright guys, it is time for my favorite thing. Well, I guess I wouldn't call it long range sniping anymore. This is basically called max distance sniping. Basically, I'm going to be sitting across the map shooting people actively. And no, I do not try and shoot people that spawn. I try to let them run a little bit. Now, I will get up this hill here and I will show you what I like to do. And this is one of my favorite spots. Everything. So you notice there's a sniper right here shooting, and this is a 4 mil dot shot. And that's just going to go hit just slightly above him there. Now, what I like to do is I like to let my scope do the work, just as normal. Bounce, right on the up bounce, shoot, and watch it go. And that is a kill shot. And that was a savior kill. That was not a headshot. Oh well. And I'm almost out of ammo, so I won't get to do this a lot. But yes, I do actively kill from this distance, and it is very, very fun. This is for advanced snipers, snipers that really know their mil dot system, that really know how to use the trajectory to their advantage, and 90% of the time no one knows you're sniping from up here once you are sniping them. And there's not a lot of guys running around down there right now. Plus, I don't have the ammo to really be shooting like crazy anyways. So, but basically remember, this is basically the max range of shooting. I mean, I could run back here a little further, but it's going to be the same. 4 mil dots. I mean, it doesn't get much further than this. I'm sure there